Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are from Group 5. We will presentation about the chapter 14 in electromagnetic field. That is about electromagnetic wave. That is first application of Maxwell equation will be in relation to electromagnetic wave propagation. Next. Okay, the member of Group 5 that is Faisal Ajar Ramadan, Luxa Octavia Permadani, and Misulan Makar Arifin, and Marcel Teosal Mustanggang. Next, for table of content that is introduction wave propagation, wave in general, wave propagation in lucid dielectric, plane wave in lossless dielectric. Next, plane wave in free space, plane wave in good conductor, wave polarization, power and the pointing factor. Next, reflection of a plane wave at normal incident and reflection of a plane wave at oblique incident. Next. Okay, for the next that is introduction wave propagation will be presented by my friend that is Marcel Theo Salomos Tanggang.
Okay, here is the introduction with propagation. Next. So our first application of Maxwell equation will be in relation to electromagnetic wave propagation. The existence of EM wave predicted by Maxwell equation was first investigated by Heinrich Hertz. After several calculations and experiments, Hertz success in generating and detecting radio wave, which are sometimes called Hertzian waves in the honor. Next. In this chapter, our major goal is to solve Maxwell equation and describe EM wave motion in the following media. First is free space. Number 2 is lossless dielectrics. 3 is lossy dielectrics. 4 is good conductor, where V is the angular frequency of the wave. Case 3 for the lossy dielectrics is the most general case and will be considered first. Once this general case has been solved, we simply derive the other case 1, 2, and 4 from it as a special case by changing the values of S and more than. Next. Next is wave in general. Next. Wave motion occurs when a disturbance at point A. At time 2, it's related to to what happened at point B at time t. To A wave equation as exempli ex exemplify is a partial different equation of the second order. In one dimension, a scalar wave equation takes the form of, this is the equation. Next. This is a sine wave chosen for simplicity. A cosine wave would have result had we taken the real part of equation 10.4a. Note the following characteristic of the wave in equation 10.5. First is it is time harmonic because we assume the depends on the form EGV to arrive at equation 10.5. Number 2 is the amplitude of the wave A has the same units as E. 3 is the phase in radian of the wave depends time t and space variable z. Number 4 is the angular frequency V is given in radians per second. The phase constant or wave number is given in radian per meter. Next. Wavelength in meter from figure, you can see that that wave taken time t to repeat itself. Consequently, t is known as a period. Since it takes times t for the wave to travel distance 1 at the speed u, we expect the lambda equal ut. But t equal 1 per f, where is f the frequency or the number of cycle per second of the wave in hertz. Hence u equal f times lambda. Next. So the example question, an electric field in free space is given by E equal 50 cos times 10 power by 8 times T plus beta times X times AY times V over M. A, find the direction of wave propagation. B, calculate B and the time it takes to travel a distance of 1 per 2. C, sketch the wave at T equal 0 per 0, T over 4, and T over 2. So the solution is, if T is the period of the wave, it takes T second to travel distance 1 at speed C. Hence, to travel a distance of 1 over 2 will take beta equal W over C equal 10 over 8 power 8 over 3 times 10 power by 8 equal 1 over 3. Next. If T is the period of the wave, it takes T second to travel distance 1 at speed C. Hence, to travel a distance of 1 over 2 will take T1 equal T over 2 equal 1 over 2 times 2P over W equal P over 10 power by 8 equal 31.42 ns. Alternatively, because the wave is traveling at the speed of light c, lambda over 2 equals ct times 1 or t1 equal lambda over 2c. But lambda is 2p over beta and equal 6p. Next. Hence t1 equal 6p over 2 times 3 times 10 of power by 8 equal 31.2 ns. So the C is at t equal 0, EY equal 50 cos time beta x. T equal T over 4, EY equal 50 cos times W times 2P over by 4 times W times plus beta x equal 50 cos times beta x plus P over 2 equal minus 50 sin beta x. T equal T over 2, EY equal 50 cos times W times 2P over 2W times plus B times X equal 50 cos times beta X plus P. So the answer is minus 50 cos beta X. Next will be presented by my friend.
Okay, I will continue. The last presentation is wave propagation in loss dielectrics. Next. Lossy dielectrics is a medium in which an EMF, as it propagates, lost power owing to imperfect dielectric. In other words, a lossy dielectric is a partially conducting medium, imperfect dielectric or imperfect conductor with equals to 0 as distinct from a lossless dielectric, perfect or good dielectric in which equals to 0. Consider a linear, isotropic, homogeneous, lossy dielectric medium that is charge-free, one macroscopic equals to 0. Assuming and suppressing the time factor, Maxwell equation becomes, and here the equation, and taking the curl of both sides of equation 10 times 13 give in the below is the equation, and applying the factor identity, and you can see the equation. Next, the left hand side of equation 10.15 and invoking equation 10.11 and 10.14 we obtain, and here is the equation, and y in reciprocal methods is called the propagation constant of the medium. By a similar procedure, it can be shown that for the H field. And here's the equation 10.19. For the equation 10.17 and 10.19 are known as homogeneous vector Helmholtz equation, or simply vector wave equation. In Cartesian coordinates, equation 10.17, for example, is equivalent to 3 scalar wave equation, one for each component of E along AX, AY, and AZ. Since Y in equation 10.17 to 10.19 is a complex quantity, we may let, and below is the equation. We obtain alpha and beta from equation 10.18 and 10.20 by noting that minus RE y power 2 equals to beta power 2 minus alpha power 2 equals to W power 2. Next, from equation 10.21 and 10.22, we obtain is below in this equation. Without loss of generality, if we assume that a wave propagates along one AZ and that has only n x component, then ES equals to EXSZ AX. We then substitute into equation 10.17, which yields, here's the equation below. Without loss of generality, if we assume that a wave propagates in an unbounded medium along AZ, and that E has only an X component that doesn't vary with X and Y, then the power 2 over dz power 2 minus Y power 2. EXS Z equals to 0. This is a scalar wave equation, a linear homogeneous differential equation with solution. See equation 6.5.13 in case 3 of example 6.5. Next. Here's the picture of an E field with an X component traveling in the plus Z minus direction at times t equals to 0 and t equals to delta t. Arrows indicate instantaneous values of E. And the below is the equation with where 0 lower than 45. Substituting equation 10.31 and 10.32 into equation 10.33 give, here's the equation. Next. Okay, for the example, a lossy dielectric has an intrinsic impedance of 20,030 at a particular radian frequency W. If at that frequency the plane wave propagating through the dielectric has the magnetic field component H equal to 10e power min AX cos WT minus 1 over 2x AY A over M. And here's for the solution. You can see. Next. Plane wave in lossless dielectrics. Next. In a lossless dielectric, it is a special case of that E section 10 10.3, except that for the equation, substituting this into equation 10.23 and 10.24 give alpha equals to 0, beta equals to W root U equals to W over beta equals to 1 over root and lambda equals to 2p over beta. And thus E and H are in the time phase with each other. Next. Okay, the next presentation will be presented by Sultan.
Okay, for the next subchapter, that is plane wave in free space. Next, plane wave in free space. Plane wave in free space compares a special case of what we consider in section 14.3. In this case, that is that theta equal to 0, epsilon equal to epsilon 0, and nu equal mu 0. This may also be regarded as a special case of the section in the subchapter 4. Thus, we simplify, replace the epsilon by epsilon 0 and nu by nu 0 in equation. Either we will obtain that is u equal 1 over square 1 over root of mu 0 and times by epsilon 0 will be equal to c, and lambda will be equal to pi over b over beta. Next. Okay, for the where c is the similar to equal 3 times by 10 power by 8 meter per second, the speed of light in a vacuum, the fact that is EM or electromagnetic wave travel in free space at the speed of light is significant. This provides some evidence that light is the manifestation of an electromagnetic wave. In other words, light is characteristically electromagnetic. By substituting the constructive parameter in equation on theta nu equal to 0 and then nu equal mu 0, where the nu is called that intrinsic impedance of free space and is given by A equal E0 cos times by theta minus beta z and AX. And for the H, as you can see, that is the equation in here. Next. The plot of E and H are shown in the figure. So you can see at the figure that is in the general, if I and AH and the AK are unit vector along the A field, the H field, and the direction of wave propagation, it can shown be AE times by AH times by AK. Next. For the transfer electromagnetic field or TEM, which is a component of an electric or magnetic field along their propagation direction, are formed by the A and H field. Given that both A and H have the same magnitude in every transverse plane, their combination is referred to as a uniform plane wave. A TEM wave polarization is determined by the direction in which the electric field in point. Since uniform plane waves stretch to infinity and represent infinite energy, they are physically possible. They function as approximation to practical wave from radio antennas at distance from radiating source, and they are characterized by their simplicity and fundamental importance. This idea hold true for other isotropic media as well as free space. Next. Okay, for the next subject there, that is plane wave in good conductor. Next. Plane wave in good conductor compares another special case on the section that is subchapter 3. A perfect or good conductor is one which apa tuh omega epsilon or omega equal over uh will be bigger than height bigger than one. For the equation as you can see in here for the upper nu and the n, and this the h is by 45 degree, that is will be in a equal to a 0, and for the h is a 0 over the root of omega nu and over to the theta. Therefore, as the A or the H wave travel in a conducting medium is amplitude to attenuation by the factor e power by minus iz. Next. Okay, for the distance, show in the figure as you can see in here, the distance of amplitude to which the wave amplitude it is decreased to a factor that is e power by minus 1. For the e power by minus 1, it is about to 37 percentage of the original value. It's called the skin depth or penetration depth of the medium. As you can see in here, that is the equation for the magnitude. Next. Okay, for the surface or the skin resistance RS, it is will be in ohm as the real part of and for a good conductor. As you can see in here, the RS will be 1 over alpha magnitude, and this is the resistance of a unit width and unit length of the conductor. It is equivalent to the DC resistance for a unit length of the conductor having cross-sectional area 1 times by magnitude. Thus for a given with W and length L, the AC resistance is calculated by using the familiar DC resistance relation and assuming a uniform current flow in the conductor of thickness magnitude for, as you can see in here, for the R for the AC. Next. Okay, this is for a simple question. As you can see in here, a plane wave have A equal to EO cos omega t minus beta z and x is incident a good conductor at z bigger to equal 0. Find the current density of the conductor. For the solution, as you can see in here, we will have GSX, that is GSX 0 e minus e power to minus 2 1 plus j over magnitude. Next. Okay, for the next is subchapter 7, that is about wave polarization. Next. Okay, for the wave polarization, EM waves are often described by their polarization, which is a crucial property that describes the variation and orientation of electric field. Polarization depends on the transmitting antenna or source and is determined by the direction of the electric field. There are 3 types of polarization, that is linear, circular, and elliptical. Wave polarization is crucial for radio and TV broadcasting, which EM broadcasting having polarization vertical to the Earth surface, and the PM broadcasting being circularly polarized, and linear polarization occur when a uniform plane wave has only one component or when its certain components are in phase. for the equation as you can see in here, and for the figure, that is for the A, that is linear, and B is circular, and for figure C, that is elliptical polarization. Next. Okay, for the equation E is linear polarization polarized when the path different alpha is for the optimum theta, and for the n will be equal to 0, 1, 2, and h. The tip of the composite electric field are observed as a fixed point in the xy plane move along a circle as time progresses. Circularly polarized wave can be generated by a helically one wire antenna or by two linear sources that are oriented perpendicular to each other and fed with current that are out of phase by 90 degrees. That the locus of the total field trace our circle can be seen if we examine the component at a point, say, that is z equal to 0. That is will be Ex equal to E0 cos omega P, and for the EY will be equal to EO cos omega T plus P over 2. That is will be equal to minus EO sin omega T. And for the absolute E 4 by 2 will be equal to EX 4 by 2 plus EY 4 by 2, that will be equal EO 4 by 2. That is which is the equation of a circle. Squaring and adding this equation yield that is cos 4 by 2 omega t plus sin 4 by 2 omega t equal to 1, which is the equation of an ellipse as shown in the figure. Notice that if EOX equal to EOY, we have circular polarization. Thus, circular polarization is a special case of elliptical polarization. In fact, we can sum that linear polarization is also a special case of elliptical polarization. Thus, the most general case is elliptical polarization. Next. Okay, for the next will be presented by my friend Faisal Azhar Ramadan.
Okay, the chapter 8 is about the power and the Poynting vector. So this is a representation of the instantaneous power density of the vector associated with the EM field at the given point. Okay, so the Poynting theorem states that the net power flowing out of a given volume is V is equal to the time rate of the decrease in the energy stored within V minus of the ohmic losses. So as you can see in the picture, so the power is goes in and stored by electrical and magnetic energy, and then included the ohmic losses, and then the power is out. And here the equation of the divergence theorem by the Poynting vector. So if you see in the right equation, the total power leaving the volume, and then we have the equation that decreasing energy stored and in electric and magnetic, and then is to subtract by the ohmic power dissipated. And this equation derived from Faraday electromagnetic equation, Ampere Maxwell, and the Poynting vector. So if you want to know the Poynting vector of the power density equation, the average power, you have this formula, and then if you have if you want to know the average, you have the seconds formula, and then the total average of the equation at S, you integrate the P in terms of S. So let's jump to the equation. So if you have the not magnetic medium E, and we have to find the epsilon r and eta. So since the alpha is 0 and beta is not equal to omega over c, the medium is not free space, but it's a lossless medium. So lossless medium, it has the 0.8 in beta, omega, the omega is 2 pi times 10 power 7, and the mu is mu naught is non-magnetic, and the epsilon is epsilon naught times epsilon r, and then we have beta equals w eta epsilon, and then we just input the number we have previously, and then the ohmic is the eta has the 98.7 ohm. And next is the reflection of the plane and wave normal incidence. So the reflection of the normal incidence is when the plane wave from one medium meets a different medium, it is partially reflected and partially transmitted, and proportion of the incident wave that is reflected or transmitted depends on the constitutive of parameters, the omega, eta, and sigma of the two media involved. So as you can see, we have the two region. The lab is incident wave, and the region 2 is the transition wave. And if the uh, wave is reflected back, not going through the region 1, 2, but is reflected back to the region 1. Okay, and the normal on the intervals between two different media, we have the incidence wave. The equation is in the question 1, and then the reflected wave is the second question, and the transmitted wave is the last. So the reflected and the transmitted is kind of the opposite side of the question. So yeah, it's just give the negative. Yeah. So the reflection and transmission coefficient. So if you want to calculate the reflection coefficient, we use the formula on the left and the transmission on the right. And the component of the wave. So the component of the wave, we have electric and magnetic. So in the left is electric A, and the right is magnetic H. And the standing wave ratio. Standing wave ratio is when you have the relative maximum of maximum value, the eta 2 is bigger than eta 1. So that we call that maximum, and the minimum is the opposite, the minimum. And then the standing wave ratio is we divide the max by a minus. So this is just the SDB for the standing ratio in dimensionless, and it's customarily expressed in decibel dB. Okay, dB is equal to 20 logs 10 s. And we go to example question. So if you have free space less than 10, less than 0, that is h. The incident normal, we ask to get to know the HR, epsilon r, and the ht. So it's kind of similar to the last question. So we just use the beta equation same and eta same, and for lossless free space, because it's lossless, we use the cos, not the minus. So it's through the dielectric. So with positive one, we just input the value, and then we ask to know the ratio as well. So this is first the electric. We get to know the electric, and then we obtain the magnetic, and then we use the ratio formula to know the formula, and we obtain the ht is here. Okay. The last is reflection of the plane wave of the oblique incidence. So in the oblique incident, you have Snell equation, which is n1 sin theta e, which is equal to n n2 sin theta 1. So it's kind of similar on the medium 1 and medium 2. If you want to find how to derive that, I think that it's on the internet. And the parallel polarization, so from Fresnel equation, you have the equation for the sigma per parallel. So it's from H to HT, I think. Sorry, A1 to AIO, and then you have two, the tau, and then the sin is the Brewster angle to calculate the angle. And then for perpendicular, you will have this equation too. And jump up to the example equation. If you have the electric field A, so we have to determine the omega and the delta. So yeah, we just use the equation for the free space. So the ES is equal to EO A power Z GK times R. So we input the coordinate X, Y, and Z. And then the omega is Kc 3 times 10 power 8 in rads per seconds. And the delta is 2 pi over K, which is just 2 pi, and is equal to 9.283 meters. And yeah, that's it. I think let's open up the Q&A session. So anybody want to ask the question? Okay, Paisol, you have any question?
Yeah, I want to ask uh, I mean, what happened when electromagnetic waves, when they propagate through the lossy dielectric? That is my question. Thank you.
No, I think the lossy dielectric is um Sultan part, I think, section. So Sultan, can you answer?
Okay. For the question, you're asking about electromagnetic wave when the propagate to the lucid dielectric, right? Okay. When the electromagnetic field wave propagate through the lucid dielectric, they are experiencing the attenuation. The meaning of that is their amplitude decrease over distance. This is because the lucid dielectric will absorb some of the wave energy and converting the wave energy into the heat. The amount of the attenuation depend on the material property and the frequency of the wave. So that is Faisal Abdullah.
Okay, thank you, Sultan, for the answer.
You're welcome. Any question again? I think anyone want to ask a question again to our group? Maybe we will stop the presentation by here. Okay, thank you for your attention all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.